It's absolutely crazy and it's scary. It's genuinely scary. There's nothing more that we love here than a good old-fashioned Donald Trump fact-check video. And I tell you what, CNN has got an absolute perler for you here today. Let's take a look.
Welcome back to CNN's breaking news coverage of President Trump's address. We just heard it to senior U.S. military officers at the Marine base at Quantico, Virginia.
Let's go live now to CNN senior reporter Daniel Dale for a fact check. All right, Daniel, what stood out to you?
There were just so many false claims, and I say that after essentially every speech, unfortunately, from President Donald Trump. But
sorry, it's funny already. Let's carry on.
I think this is notable because of the audience. He was telling a lot of lies, saying a lot of other inaccurate things, regardless of his intentions, to the U.S.'s top military leaders. So I want you to listen to something he said about former President Joe Biden and Biden's comments about the U.S. military.
I go around bragging about that. I said, we have the strongest military anywhere in the world. I say it. You never heard Biden say that. Never heard him say anything. But you never heard him say, did you ever hear him say, we have the strongest military? He doesn't say that. I say it.
President Biden said that over and over. This took me about 5 seconds to find on Google. One sample quote from 2023. Our U.S. military, and this is not hyperbole, I've said it for the last 2 years, is the strongest military in the history of the world, not just the strongest in the world, in the history of the world. So this is just one of many such quotes from President Biden. And he made another false claim about President Biden and the military, falsely claiming at another point in the speech today that President Biden had suggested early in his term that he could get rid of the Space Force established under President Trump. Listen to that quote.
The Space Force turned out to be a very important thing. I said from the beginning, you know, when Biden came into office, he wanted to terminate it. He said, and this thing called Space Force, so we could get rid of that. And he got hammered by the people in this room.
Isn't it crazy? It's almost like, I don't want to say the word, it's almost like a tendency of a psychopath, because it appears that he believes in his heart of hearts what he's saying. And you don't want to say that about the President of the United States of America, to any president, about any president. But where did this comment come from? Like, it's almost like he believes in his mind, in his heart of hearts, that what he's saying is unequivocally 100% true.
For even suggesting it, because it's very important.
President Biden never said that. President Biden never said that that did not happen. What did happen in the first weeks of President Biden's term is that his then White House press secretary, Jen Psaki, offered what seemed to be a snarky or dismissive response to a question about what Biden planned to do about the future of Space Force. But that wasn't Biden himself. Even Psaki never said he was going to get rid of it. And she said the very next day that they were not getting rid of Space Force, that they would preserve it. So those are just two of a whole bunch of false claims from President Trump today. He also repeated his usual lie that the 2020 election involving him and Biden was rigged. Of course, he lost fair and square. He repeated this lie that he tells over and over, that the Congo and Venezuela both emptied their prisons to somehow allow prisoners to come to the United States as migrants. There was no evidence that any of that happened. President Trump's own team has never been able to offer any corroboration. And I've spoken to independent experts on both the Republic of Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo, and Venezuela who have said they have seen nothing to support any of that. President Trump again repeated this claim we've been hearing from him that Biden let in 25 million migrants. That's up from President Trump's former claim of 21 million. Even that was false. So the actual number is less than half of that, even if you count the millions who were rapidly expelled from the country under COVID-era immigration provisions. So not even close. President Trump again said that President Biden provided $350 billion worth of aid to Ukraine. That's also not even close. Even generously by independent expert estimates, the actual number is about half that. And we also heard President Trump repeat this claim he made at the United Nations the other day that he has settled 7 wars. But even the examples that President Trump cited himself show that that claim is not true. For example, he mentioned the Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda. Well, the war involving those 2 countries has not actually been settled. Despite a peace agreement signed under President Trump, hostilities continue. We have good reporting from the ground. CNN was there last week showing that the fighting continues. And the peace agreement that was signed under Trump did not involve the rebel coalition allegedly backed by Rwanda that's doing much of the fighting. He also mentioned Kosovo and Serbia as a supposed war he has ended. Well, they have not actually been at war under President Trump. He previously claimed that he prevented a new war from erupting. There's thin evidence even for that, but the claim that he ended an actual war between those 2 entities is just not correct.
It's absolutely crazy and it's scary. It's genuinely scary because there is a large percentage of the population who, no matter what, and look, in this day and age it shouldn't happen, but it does. Because we have different age brackets, different demographics, people have grown up in different places, different levels of education, different experiences, environmental factors. But there's a large percentage of people who, if something gets pushed out by the President of the United States of America or said by the President, they will believe it. And it's an eerily large percentage of people who will believe it. It's the diehard Trump supporters, the Republicans, and so he knows he can change the narrative. And those people will believe it. It doesn't matter what he says. They will believe it. It is scary. And he's playing off this. All right? That's why these videos exist. But when you've got the algorithms and people are pro-Trump, chances are they'll never see it. They'll never see a video like this.
All right, Daniel Dell, always bringing the facts.
He knows what he's talking
He
about.
sure does. Thanks
He's
so
good.
much, Daniel.
All right, Daniel, thanks for me as well.
All right, leave a comment in the comment section below. And you know what? Don't just comment about this video. Any other fact check things that you have heard of, I want you to drop it in the comment section. What are some things that you might have heard from the president that he has said that are completely unfounded, untrue, and have been proven a lie? They can be dispelled as myths. Drop it in the comments section. Please like this video, share it with a friend. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you again in the next one. This is Jack White for US Daily. Thanks for joining. Bye for now.